Have you ever photographed a cityscape and realized that the light coming from the street lamps is an ugly green? Okay, I have a really quick video tutorial for you. So this problem always comes up whenever we have a situation where the city street lights or lamps are illuminated by what's called sodium vapor or mercury vapor. And it's just the way that they are. One will turn greenish and one will turn orange. So what we want to do is have a consistency in lighting. For example, if we just pull back on this shot, I took this in one of my favorite places in Nagano, in a place called Yudanaka Onsen, or Yudanaka Hot Spring Village. And I really liked the way that they have the traditional aspects of the street. However, they illuminate the lamps, unfortunately, with these mercury and sodium vapor lamps, which really doesn't make any sense to me. So how do we avoid this in the future? Well, there's not much you can do in camera. However, in the editing software afterward, you can certainly make the green less offensive looking. So what I'm gonna do is at the top right, I'm gonna tap on my little circle. This will allow me to open up my selective tools. And then I'm going to go at the top left to plus. By the way, this is Lightroom CC mobile app. And then I'm going to go to my brush. And at this point, with the brush, I'm going to tap on and hold on the little circle icon. And this allows me to adjust the size of my brush. And I'm going to choose a fairly small one because the lamp that I want to adjust is quite small. And it's the green one. Okay, so now I simply paint onto the lamp, and don't worry about going outside of the lines. You can erase that later. Okay, so as you can see, we have some red masking, and that's just a technical term, M-A-S-K, a red mask, and this is going to sort of inform us what aspects are going to be adjusted. So what we want to do essentially is get rid of the green and sort of mix a bit of orange in order to match the lower light. So let's go to our light, and light is up. I'm sorry, we're going to go to color, and color is right here. We're going to tap on it. And at this point, we have a couple options. We have tint, temperature, saturation. And the first thing we want to do is go to tint. Now, tint is a magenta and green slider, okay? So this is really, really useful. So if we go to the left, the image, or sorry, the lamp goes really green. But if we go to the right, we can counteract the green. And in this case, we get a more neutral or bluish look, which is actually really good, okay? So step one is done in reducing and getting rid of this greenish look on this vapor lamp. But what do we do next? Very simply, we go up to temperature. By the way, I don't know if it's really necessary that you do tint first and then temperature. However, I believe that it's better to do it in this order. So now we're going to go to temperature. We're going to load this all the way to 100% on the yellow side. Okay? Now next up, we are going to go to light because the top lamp is a little bit darker than the bottom one. So in order to go to light, we're going to go to the very top. It's a little sun icon, and we're simply going to go to exposure. Okay? Now that should be the same amount of illumination. Now let's just fine-tune this. Let's go back to our color and let's jack up saturation and see what that does. Okay, that's pretty good. So saturation is pretty much at full. Now what we're going to do is sort of zoom in here a little bit more and do a little bit of fine-tuning. This is what's really valuable about this selective brush work, is if I tap the selective brush, and I just make sure I'm on the brush tool here, I can extend my brush work to the corners because the corners I was a little bit inaccurate. So you can always go back if you feel that you missed something. So at the bottom of this lamp, do you see how there's a little bit of green? I'm just going to get rid of that green there a little bit more, maybe over here. And interestingly, if I go a little bit too far, I can tap on my eraser tool and make sure that my eraser tool doesn't have very much feather, just a little bit of feather, and watch what happens. I can erase any part that I feel went outside of the lines. Okay, so I'm just going to circle the frame. And any part that's a little bit magenta that sort of bleeds out of the lamp, that's what I'm going to get rid of. There we go. Okay, I'll leave a little bit of magenta in. Okay, let's just take a look here. We're going to back out this Japanese streetscape. I'm going to go to plus and accept it. And yeah, that's pretty good. So let's take a look at the before. Here's the before and here's the after. Let me zoom in to show you. Before and after. And that was pretty quick. We did that in a couple minutes, and you can actually do it much quicker without explanation. So whenever we're dealing with the mercury or the sodium vapor lamps that you often find in cityscapes, you can always use tint, saturation, and lightness or exposure to get rid of that extreme look. Okay, I hope that really helped you. And the nice thing about cityscapes is with a real push toward energy efficiency, a lot of cities don't even use these lamps anymore, and that's a good thing. However, you probably will still encounter these types of lights in a cityscape for the next couple years. That's just an unfortunate scenario, but that's the way it is for now. Okay, if you found value in this, I would really appreciate that you share it with someone. And also, please check out markhemmings.com for more photography tips and to check out my portfolio with a lot of Japanese photos. Have a great day. See you in the next video.